Hello everyone, I am Crota and I'm giving you game number 1 in a series between Sonic and Lucifer. I'm gonna go ahead and switch it to my friend back to WarCraft's Neo as we see Lucifer spawning as the gray undead on the bottom left hand side of Secret Valley. Meanwhile, over here on the top right hand side we have Lucifer spawning as the yellow Night Elf. Night Elf versus Undead in this Undead versus Night Elf matchup. Yes, that I just said the same exact thing in a very, very long sentence, but hopefully you guys were not too distracted to take a look at a very, very late Altar of Darkness now gonna be training up a Death Knight. Meanwhile, off over here, we are gonna be looking at an Ancient of War absorbing some damage as the archer is now gonna go ahead and shoot some arrows from behind. Demon Hunter now coming back over here, gonna be dealing some damage off to the Null Overseer as it is, well, gonna get slowly picked off. For those of you guys who are watching this, I just wanted to give a little bit of an update on what I'm... No, actually, no, I'll do that a little bit later. Anyways, Demon Hunter going to go ahead and clean up this 5-3-3 creep camp. Ancient of War not going to have any problems whatsoever as this gets finished up. Demon Hunter already picked up his Circlet of Nobility and is now making his rounds out. Death Knight opted to go for a very late Altar of Darkness and then went into quickly Halls of the Dead, even though he was going off of a single crypt and no crypt fiends. This is a little bit of an interesting opening as I'm not quite sure what to make of this. Demon Hunter now going to be making its rounds over here in just a moment. Low hit point Ghoul now heading back home as well, as the Null Overseer is going to be taking a bit of damage. Alright, is this going to be enough? Skeletal minions. Demon Hunter is already back over there. Level 2 now on the Demon Hunter as we may try to go for, an immolation off of Lucifer's Demon Hunter. Beautifully done, but he is going to be very, very mana strapped. This is going to be a very, very big issue right now. You can see that the Demon Hunter is actually inadvertently dealing damage to that Null Overseer. And what's going to be happening here? Archer now coming back across over here. Skeletal minion. Who's going to get the experience? It looks as though the Death Knight is going to get it. Death Knight gets the experience. The Demon Hunter perhaps helping just a little bit with that immolation as he is now completely out of mana. This was one of the questions that I got on a Q&A. I will be answering this on why the Demon Hunter often doesn't go for immolation. The Demon Hunter, now, if he takes any serious amounts of damage, he is going to actually be very, very far behind. Moonwells replenish hit points and mana, and most of the time, you really only want to replenish hit points on the Demon Hunter. Mana is not that big of a deal. If you start having bone dry Moonwells because you're constantly replenishing mana on the Demon Hunter, you're not going to have enough to replenish the necessary hit points later on. Things can start to get out of control there as we now see the Death Knight off over here looking to clear out this Forest Troll Berserker Ogre Magi creep camp. Demon Hunter back down across over here. You can see immolation does not last very long. The ghouls are now trying to get away and will be able to perhaps get a little bit of distance as the units are all still just wandering around here. Alright, a little bit of archer damage coming across here. Demon Hunter now trying to run away. You can take a look. The ghouls are now just running back off to the north. Death Knight needs to get over there. Does have level 2 and perhaps will be able to land a death coil or two. Meanwhile, this ghoul down to 145 hit points now needs to back off. Lucifer, who had dealt a lot of damage much earlier, now looking to be in a rather strange situation. Ancient of War slowly going to make his trek back down. Death Knight now also trying to run back off to the north here, as you're going to see the Death Knight run across this Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter does not have enough yet, as a Death Coil does go down. Alright, Boots of Speed is going to quickly be added here. This Demon Hunter going to mana burn that Death Knight. Death Knight no longer able to Death Coil that low hit point ghoul, as another ghoul gets in the way. Beautifully done so far, but this ghoul, is he going to be able to back around? It looks as though he will get taken down. There it goes, another low hit point ghoul back across over here as the Demon Hunter is going to try to rush inside here and now get slowed down by the Halls of the Dead. Alright, Nerubian Tower also getting in some damage as well. Higher hit point ghouls are being brought over back off to the north. Death Knight now needs to try and run away as the Demon Hunter is going to replenish some hit points and do a little bit of chasing. However, because of that Halls of the Dead slow, things are going to be a little bit strange here as the Demon Hunter going to come across and get another mana burn off. No real reason for the Death Knight to even go back over there, since he knows that that creep camp has already been cleared out by himself. Panda now trying to do a little bit of rounds here. You're going to take a look. Ancient of War comes across and sees that the creep camp has been cleared And now that is just a little bit of an upset there. All right, Lucifer now doing a chase once again back off to the north. You can see the Demon Hunter now trying to run back. Another mana burn does go down, as the Demon Hunter currently sitting on about maximum hit points and 100 mana. Lich has hit the field as well. Panda with that Breath of Fire is going to be very strong. We can see we're already teching a tier 3. There is a Slaughterhouse. Still have not seen that many Crypt Fiends as of yet, as the Skeletal Minion now makes its way back off to the north. You can also see an expansion attempt is coming into play from the Night Elf, as the Death Knight still wandering around here. There's a Mana Burn, Frost Nova, Death Coil, as the Demon Hunter now tries to run back again. Lich only dealing 22 to 28 damage and no Orb of Corruption as of yet. There is a Mana Burn and a Frost Nova. One more shot from the runed-edged blade of that Death Knight. I know that looks like Frostmourne, but I guarantee you it is not, because this is not Arthas. All right, let's go ahead and see what's going to be finishing off over here. Going to go ahead and take down a handful of units. Meanwhile, back off to the north, Panda is going to be attempting to take down some of those gnolls as well. They're going to get taken out, as the units are now looking to back off. All right, there goes another Murloc once more, as the Lich is heading back off to the north. Lich looking to clear out this creep camp. This is going to be a little bit dangerous, as a skeletal minion is going to be doing a little bit of a run by there. Panda now opting to not clear out the creep camp, instead heading back over to this ogre warrior creep camp here, and now going to see a handful of undead units, as the Demon Hunter may be able to get off another Mana Burn. Death Coil onto the Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter taking about 175 points of damage there. Lich still sitting at level 1. Demon Hunter is still sitting at level 2, not yet at level 3, even though it was the first hero to get to level 2. Crypt Fiends now looking to back off here. Black Citadel about to be done. Orb of Corruption should be added onto that Lich in just a moment. We also have some Obsidian statues as well, and the Crypt Fiends look like they are going to be ready to go. All right, let's take a look. Brewmaster is going to be ready to go. Let's take a look. There's also Dryads now looking to poke in a little bit of damage. A quick ensnare onto the Ogre Magi, as that Lich is going to try and focus that down just a little bit more. Is the Lich going to get the experience? I'm not quite sure, even though I did have that Lich highlighted. It looks as though the creeps were the ones to finally deal that killing blow. All right, let's take a look. Lich does have a potion of mana. Will be able to do exactly that. There's Immolation again, and the Demon Hunter going to be running out of mana now. All right, so early Immolation causing some problems, but now the Demon Hunter is out of mana. Death Knight, Death Coils the Panda, and let's see what's going to be happening next. We can still see that the Death Knight is out in play. You see Naga Sea Witch now coming out into play as well, trying to pick off some of these handful of units. Dryad's going to get taken out, as we see an ensnare go down onto the Obsidian statues. All right, the Forest Troll Trapper is causing problems all over across the map. Now let's take a look. Cold Arrows now going down onto the Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter now down to about 450 hit points. And yes, it will be able to slip away, but it's going to be taking pretty much full damage, as the Orb of Corruption leaves only 0.6 armor left. All right, Demon Hunter still looking to head back here. And Staff of Teleportation now trying to get away. Is it going to be able to get away down to 38 hit points? And yes, it will be able to slip away here, as the Death Knight now takes this opportunity to go after a creep camp, knowing that his opponent and the Demon Hunter is still not going to try and pressure in at this time. Dryads may have been the better choice to try and kill at this point. Not quite sure why the Death Knight opted to creep here, but still, Lucifer still has the slight advantage. Ghouls now looking to clear up this no warding creep camp. Death Knight, Lich, Naga Sea Witch going to finish things up. True Shot Aura now given to the Death Knight. Perhaps will be transferred either to the Naga Sea Witch or that Lich, as the Death Knight is often in the front lines. All right, you also saw Dark Ritual getting in a little bit of extra mana. Panda is back out on the field. Demon Hunter has a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability and will be forced to use that Potion of Lesser Invulnerability if a Death Coil or Frost Nova start to get cast. That Demon Hunter very, very low on hit points, and without any bears as of yet, it is going to be very difficult to keep life. Now let's take a look. Still sitting at Tree of Ages, so it is just a mass Dryad army coming across over here. Demon Hunter going to try and put in some pressure, but with the sheer number of Crypt Fiends that we see from the Undead, this is not looking good. All right, Moonwell getting that Demon Hunter pretty much back into at least a little bit more of a sustainable situation. Meanwhile, Potion of Lesser Invulnerability now coming online. Dryads getting focused down like crazy. You can see that piercing damage is just adding up so quickly. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire. lower hit point Crypt Fiends now looking to move to the back as they are still focusing down those Dryads. Dryads taking a tremendous amount of damage. -5 armor. Are we going to perhaps see a burrow? No. Death Coil could be coming across. No Death Coil as of yet. That Crypt Fiend finally does go down, but the Lich now sitting at level 3. All right, there's a Frost Nova again, still focusing down some more units. Finally deciding to go after that Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter now down as the Naga Sea Witch does get a Fork Lightning and no Scroll of Town Portal, and that should be it. There is the GG Lucifer taking game number 1 in this series. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.